How can the NAACP support a white candidate over a black candidate? See, if the NAACP felt that Winsome Sears' politics didn't align with their mission statement, then they should have just stayed quiet than rather to support a white woman. I'm just keeping it 100. See, now you shouldn't say we're for the advancement of colored people. You should say we're for the advancement of some colored people.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine, where life, culture, community, and faith meet truth, power, and purpose.
Peace and blessings, everybody. This is Damon K. Jones, publisher of Black Westchester Magazine, blackwestchester.com. And today we're talking about something that got a lot of people uncomfortable: the double standard in black politics. And we're focusing on Winsome Earle-Sears, a black woman who made history. And she's being ignored by the same people who claim to fight for representation. Now, Winsome Earle-Sears is a Jamaican-born Marine veteran raised in the Bronx, a wife, a mother, and Virginia's first black woman lieutenant governor. Now that she's running to become the first black woman for governor, but instead of celebration from black people on the left, she's criticized and dismissed. Now, what doesn't make sense is that the NAACP, the National Association for Advancement of Colored People, refused to endorse her. They only recognized her. And that's a polite way of saying, we see you, but we don't stand with you. And even the GED champion comedian D.L. Hughley called Winsome Sears' hair nappy. But there was no outrage from black women. Now, if any other man would have called a woman's hair nappy, black women would have been up in arms, calling for an apology. But these are the same folks who flooded the timeline when Stephen A. Smith simply criticized Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett for her lack of policy substance. Not her looks, not her hair, but her congressional record. Even DL has something slick to say about Stephen A., but then turns around and attacks a black woman married to a black man raising black children. See, DL should throw away that GED that he touts, because that's not even comedy. That's literally confusion from a black man in America. And let's not forget the Obama factor. Barack Obama once said about Kamala Harris, she's one of us. She comes from where we come from.
When on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land, and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got health care, and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods.
Really? Kamala Harris is married to a white man. Winsome Sears is married to a black man, raising black children. And she came up from the Bronx. See, if Obama words actually meant something to black people, then Winsome Sears will be the natural candidate of choice. But instead, what does he do? Obama endorsed Abigail Spanberger, a white Democrat, praising her abortion and tax policies. That's not black excellence, brothers and sisters. That is selective inclusion. Now, I come here tonight to talk about the bigger picture, and that's power. White Americans understand politics is power. In their households, the husband might vote one way and the wife might vote the other. But either way, their interests are met. Jewish, Italian, Irish, and Asian communities, they put their culture before party. And this past congressional election between George Lattimore and Jamal Bowman in New York State District 16, the Jewish people said on their website, community before party. That's shared interest before loyalty. And to defeat Jamal Bowman, a black man, Jewish Republicans switched to the Democratic side to increase the vote against a black man, Jamal Bowman. I don't have to make it up. Just Google it. It's there. So Jewish people understand ethnic community interest is before the political party, to the point that they got their Republican brothers and sisters to switch over to the Democratic Party. But too many of our people treat politics like it's a team sport. Loyalty like little hound dogs to a party that keep our community in shambles. They defend symbolism while our neighborhoods crumble. See, now that's not progress, brothers and sisters. That is cultural conditioning. Now, some folks say it's not about race. It's about party. But that's the issue. Race only matters when it benefits one side. Others say Obama wouldn't cross party lines, so he endorsed the white Democratic candidate. But I'm not asking him to. I'm asking him and all of us to be consistent. If you celebrate diversity, celebrate even if it's someone that thinks different from you. And for the record, Winsome Sears came here legally as a child. She worked her way up and joined the Marines to serve the country, not for a shortcut to citizenship. So let's deal with the facts, not feelings. Winsome Earle-Sears isn't just running for governor. She's running against black political hypocrisy. Yeah, I said it. She's proof that leadership doesn't have to wear blue to be black. Until we learn to put our community before party, we'll keep trading power for symbolism and purpose for politics. Because every other group, white, Jewish, Italian, Asian, protects their culture first. It's time that we do the same. Real progress starts when we put the people before politics. Let me say something. How can the NAACP support a white candidate over a black candidate? See, if the NAACP felt that Winsome Sears' politics didn't align with their mission statement, then they should have just stayed quiet than rather to support a white woman. I'm just keeping it 100. See, now you shouldn't say we're for the advancement of colored people. You should say we're for the advancement of some colored people. Because that's total hypocrisy. And people are seeing this. People are noticing this.
To Virginia, I'm going to try to be serious for a minute. If you all haven't heard by now, the NAACP has endorsed Abigail Spanberger to run against Winsome Earle-Sears for governor of Virginia. Nothing screams progress for people of color like watching the same crowd that preaches representation matters suddenly go full Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles when the representation has an R next to her name. Funny how that shit works, huh? Winsome Earle-Sears, black, female, immigrant, Marine, success story, but nah, it doesn't fit the approved narrative. Apparently she's the wrong kind of black. Because we all know being a strong, independent, educated, conservative woman means you've been brainwashed by the patriarchy, right? And the same people who quote Malcolm X like it's scripture conveniently ignore the part where he said that there's nothing more dangerous to a black man than the white liberal. But they're out here acting like Spanberger is the second coming of MLK just because she checks the right political box. I guess diversity only counts when it votes blue. And representation only matters when it agrees with your Twitter feed. The same people screaming black women deserve a seat at the table or suddenly flipping the fucking table when the black woman sitting there happens to be a gun-owning, God-fearing, small government Marine who earned everything she's got without needing a single social movement to hold her hand. Apparently that's the wrong kind of empowerment. Let's empower some facts real quick. Winsome's the first black woman elected statewide in Virginia. That's history, not a headline. And yet CNN will give her less airtime than a weather report between cats. And Spanberger will get front page worship for saying the exact same cookie cutter bullshit talking points. Same as Mom Donnie, same as AOC, and every other DC robot before them. Believe in democracy, we need unity. They've all been in Washington long enough to know that unity only exists when everyone agrees with them. And it's funny how when Winsome talks about lifting people through personal responsibility and opportunity, she's pushing white conservative ideals. But when a white liberal tells minorities they'll never make it without government training wheels, that's called compassion. Nope. That's keep them in the hood, victimhood. Funny how the party of listen to black voices suddenly needs subtitles when that voice says something that they don't like. These folks don't care about color, culture, or character. They care about compliance. They'll cheer on a drag queen story hour before they'll ever clap for a black conservative woman who served her country. They'll hashtag representation all day long until that representation steps off that plantation. Winsome is living proof that the system isn't what's holding anyone back. The narrative is. The same crowd that screams trust black women turns into political exorcist the second one votes Republican. So Malcolm X wasn't lying. The most dangerous thing to the progress of black Americans ain't the conservative. It's the liberal who smiles in your face while quietly telling you to stay in your place.
What is wrong with a black woman married to a black man with black girls that they're raising? That black women can't get behind that. When 80% of black children are born out of wedlock. We have the lowest black marriage rate among each other than any other ethnic group. And then they want to shame black men for not supporting Kamala Harris, but she's married to a white man raising white children. Is that the picture of black womanhood that we want to show? Let's get rid of all the politics. What's wrong with having faith, having family, and having positive role models for black children? See, I think we got this whole political thing twisted, brothers and sisters. We have it twisted. And it goes far beyond identity politics. See, people want to accuse me of saying identity politics. But there's no other identity we can have but being black Americans. And when we start talking black America first, because when we rise, America rises. But we can't do it just in one party. You don't put all your money in one account, do you? If you got $400,000 or $500,000 and you go to the bank teller says, hey, listen, you need to talk to our financial person. You got too much money in one account. Don't they say that? Maybe some of us never had $100,000 in the bank or $200,000 sitting in an account. But they will tell you that because what they tell you to diversify your money. That is the same way with votes, brothers and sisters. When you put all your votes in one party, you don't have leverage, you don't have power. Now, I'm not telling people to support Republicans. What I'm saying is, we have the power as Black people to have say-so in both parties, not just the Democratic Party. We have power to be in both parties. Well, you say, well, the Republican Party is racist. So was the Democrats. Check the history of the Democrats. Check the history of the Dixiecrats. Check the history. Why did they change? Because Black people started voting in the Democratic Party. So you don't think that if we show value in all parties, that they won't change? This is strategy. This is not feelings. This is not emotions. Because Black communities throughout the nation is suffering. And you know that is a fact. That's an actual fact. But we allow D.L. Hughley to call another Black woman nappy-headed. And y'all sisters don't have nothing to say just because she's conservative. A Black woman is a Black woman. And any Black woman that disagrees with that shows that you're part of the hypocrisy of politics. Y'all got upset with the Kamala Harris race when white women didn't want to be boss chicks, didn't want to be single mothers. They wanted family values. They wanted their men to get out and work and bring home the money and be head of households, so they voted for Trump. 80% of Black children are born out of wedlock. But nobody's talking about that. But when you talk about faith and family values, you want to put it in a MAGA box. Well, the scriptures taught us that family and faith is the most important thing. Not fighting for men to play in women's sports, not fighting for men to go in women's bathrooms, not fighting for migrants to use our tax dollars. That's not MAGA. That's just protecting your community. But you have allowed them to take your agenda. Black people, we have allowed them to take our identity, that even a Black family that should be lifted up is degraded because they might have a few different political views. But you will never see any other ethnic group do that. If they have differences, they will take it behind closed doors and work those differences out. Not Black folks. We want to skin and grin for the white liberals that give us nothing, that keep our communities unsafe, that teach our daughters that it's okay to have promiscuous sex because it's empowering. I'm sorry, man. I just have to say it today. And I don't care who gets mad at me. And I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm not going to be like Stephen A. Smith. I'm not going to backtrack when we got Black elected officials playing the dozens and not bringing home legislation to the community on a federal level. Now they don't want to vote for a clean CR to keep the government open, which this is going to affect Black communities tremendously. We have to get it together. We don't even have our own agenda. And you say, well, she supports Trump. Well, show me where there's a Republican in the Black community that's causing the Black community to look the way it does. Show me a Republican. There is none. There's not children of Republicans gang banging in the black community. Excuse me. There's not children of Republicans robbing our elders. Show me. Show me in the police brutality cases in black communities with black mayors. Where is there a Republican? And I'm not saying support a Republican. I'm saying let's not get it twisted to what we're looking at. That's all I'm saying. But when the NAACP chooses to support a white woman over a black woman, that's hypocrisy. And the NAACP should be ashamed of themselves. What you should have did, if you felt that her policies didn't match the mission statement of the NAACP, then you should have just stayed quiet. Why would you go against a black woman? Why would you go against a black woman? And this is why our communities look the way they do. I'm Damon K. Jones, and this is the Publisher's Desk, Black Westchester Magazine, the news with the black point of view. We do not call it left or right. We call it right in the middle, and we call the truth. Because the goal is to have Black America rise. And when Black America rise, all Americans rise. And if you have a problem with what I'm saying, then say that to the Jews. Say that to the Asians. Say that to the Italians. Say that to the Irish. You don't say that to anybody else, but you say it to black people. You say it to black people. I see the comments. It's bad enough we have black people that don't even understand the political process and don't even understand that we're the only ethnic group that put identity before our politics, before our agenda. And basically, we don't even have a national black agenda. You don't have one that everybody can recognize. Ain't no free download for the black agenda. I haven't seen one. Have anyone you seen one? So I'm here tonight to just say, listen, man, this is not right. And we have a lot to learn in politics as black people. Stop making these white liberals fight your fight. Stop making it this fight. And I'm not having no hate for any white person. But I do know what's in our communities have to change. And we have to begin to stand up for ourselves and not being afraid to call truth to power and protect our communities. And sometimes we might have to go against Democrats, not just Republicans, to what's going on in our community. But when we see the blatant nonsense of the NAACP for supporting a white woman over a black woman, it's unacceptable. And there's no excuse. If that's your name, the National Association for Advancement of Colored People, you need to change it to the National Association of Advancement of Some Colored People. I'm Damon K. Jones. Once again, Black Westchester Magazine, blackwestchester.com. Thank you for watching. Please share. And if you enjoyed this conversation, please share it, man. Please. And go to our website and check out the latest news articles. And again, as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay blacktastic. Peace.
Tired of the same emotional politics that lead nowhere. Emotional Politics, Logical Failure by Damon K. Jones is the book Black America needs right now. It exposes the lies, challenges the gatekeepers, and calls for real strategy, not just symbolism. Power starts with truth. On sale, now, and available in audiobook on Amazon.
Tolerance is for Cowards by Damon K. Jones. This book is not anti-police, it's pro-community. Discover how the extended policing strategy empowers you to demand real public safety, justice, and accountability from your local police department. Because the Black community deserves good policing. On sale now on Amazon and Audible. Discover Jesus and Divine Black Masculinity by Damon K. Jones. This a bold blueprint to restore faith, manhood, and purpose in Black America. Because the Black community needs good Black men. Available now on Amazon. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like and share it with others who need to hear the truth. And for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes access, join the Black Westchester Magazine YouTube membership club today. Your support helps us keep independent Black media strong. Support independent Black media with style. Rock Black Westchester merch and represent the news with the Black point of view. Every purchase helps us speak truth to power.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine, where life, culture, community, and faith meet truth, power, and purpose.